So if you use StatCrunch, just choose variance standard deviation from this box. That'll give you the samples variance and sample standard deviation. Standard deviation is very important. Let's look at this slide to see how do we interpret standard deviation. Standard deviation is a measure of the typical amount an entrant deviates from the mean. The more the entrants are spread out, the greater the standard deviation. So that's standard deviation measures. So if you have 0 as standard deviation, then all the numbers are the same. You have all the numbers are the same. Say 8 same numbers, they are all 5. If you have standard deviation is 1.2, and you can see the numbers are spread out a little bit. If you have standard deviation 3.0, which is bigger than 1.5, then you can find you have the more spread out data set. The last concept in this section is coefficient of variation. We can use standard deviation to compare this variation of a data set. As we showed here, the larger the greater the standard deviation, the more the entries are spread out. However, standard deviation has the same unit as the data entrant. So if we have a different units data, for example, one is height, one is weight, and we want to know which one has some more variation, then we cannot compare standard deviation directly because they don't have the same unit. It does not make sense to compare centimeter with kilogram. So we need something to convert standard deviation to a standard score. Here that's the coefficient of variation. It's defined as standard deviation divided by mean. So it describes the standard deviation of a dataset as a percent of the mean. Well, coefficient of variation, CV, has no unit. It's just a percentage. So let's look at this. We have height and weight. We want to know which one has more variation. Is that height or weight? So how do we do? We'll calculate the mean and standard deviation for each data set and then find the coefficient variation. So for height it's 4.5%, or for weight it's 9.4%. Then definitely weight are more variable than the height. The problem is it's hard to calculate standard deviation manually. So we'll use StatCrunch to calculate coefficient of variation. It's very easy. You just copy and paste both data to StatCrunch. Okay, and then under stat, summary stats, columns, if you choose column 9, 10, and from this list you can find the coefficient variation, and here it comes. This is percentage, so you don't need to multiply by 100%. It's 4.7% and 9.8%, as we did here. So it's already percentage. Keep that in mind. Gives us percentages. Okay, so that's all about 2.4.